There we go.
Okay, fab. So my name's Emma Mander from Great Minds Together. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm just going to cover off today sort of information around who we are, why we do what we do, how we're funded, who can refer to our service and how, and just covering off some of the programmes that we do for families, schools and services. So we're a community interest company supporting young people with SEND and SEMH needs. We provide a free wraparound support for families in need where they have children with special educational needs and disabilities and social, emotional and mental health needs. We have a large focus on social emotional well-being, both for our families, including the children and young people, but also for the professionals we work with across schools and services. We are evidence-based, and we are doing lots of parliamentary work to influence positive changes to education and social care, trying to drag the public sector into the 21st century generally. So
said, everybody's a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing that it is stupid. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, today on trial we have modern day schooling. Glad you could come. Not only does he make fish climb trees, but also makes them climb down and do a 10-mile run. Tell me, school, are you proud of the things you've done? Turning millions of people into robots, do you find that fun? Do you realize how many kids relate to that fish? Swimming upstream in class, never finding their gifts, thinking they are stupid, believing they are useless? Well, the time has come, no more excuses. I call school to the stand and accuse him of killing creativity, individuality, and being intellectually abusive. He's an ancient institution that has outlived his usage. So, Your Honor, this concludes my opening statement, and if I may present the evidence of my case, I will prove it. Proceed. Exhibit A. Here's a modern day phone. Recognize it? Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today, and here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today, and here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past? I did a background check on you and let the record show that you were made to train people to work in factories, which explains why you put students in straight rows, nice and neat, tell them sit still, raise your hand if you want to speak, give them a short break to eat, and for 8 hours a day, tell them what to think. Oh, and make them compete to get an A. A letter which determines product quality, hence grade A of meat. I get it. Back then, times were different. We all have a past. I myself am no Gandhi. But today, we don't need to make robot zombies. The world has progressed. And now we need people who think creatively, innovatively, critically, independently, with the ability to connect. See, every scientist will tell you that no two brains are the same. And every parent with 2 or more children will confirm that claim. So please explain why you treat students like cookie cutter frames or snapback hats, giving them this one-size-fits-all crap. What's your language? Sorry, Your Honor. But if a doctor prescribed the exact same medicine to all of his patients, the results would be tragic. So many people would get sick, yet when it comes to school, this is exactly what happens. This educational malpractice, where one teacher stands in front of 20 kids, each one having different strengths, different needs, different gifts, different dreams, and you teach the same thing the same way? That's horrific. Ladies and gentlemen, the defendant should not be acquitted. This may be one of the worst criminal offenses ever to be committed. And let's mention the way you treat your employees. Objection, overruled. I want to hear this. It's a shame. I mean, teachers have the most important job on the planet, yet they're underpaid? No wonder so many students are short-changed. Let's be honest. Teachers should earn just as much as doctors, because a doctor can do heart surgery and save the life of a kid, but a great teacher can reach the heart of that kid and allow him to truly live. See, teachers are heroes that often get blamed, but they're not the problem. They work in a system without many options or rights. Curriculums are created by policymakers, most of which have never taught a day in their life. Just obsessed with standardized tests. They think bubbling in a multiple choice question will determine success. that's outlandish. In fact, these tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned, but don't take my word for it. Take Frederick J. Kelly, the man who invented standardized testing, who said, and I quote, "These tests are too cruel to be used and should be abandoned." Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if we continue down this road, the results will be lethal. I don't have much faith in school, but I do have faith in people. And if we can customize healthcare, cars, and Facebook pages, then it is our duty to do the same for education, to upgrade it, change it, do away with school spirit, because that's useless. Unless we're working to bring the spirit out of each and every student, that should be our task. No more Common Core. Instead, let's reach the core of every heart in every class. Sure, math is important, but no more than art or dance. Let's give every gift an equal chance. I know this sounds like a dream, but countries like Finland are doing impressive things. They have shorter school days. Teachers make a decent wage. Homework is non-existent, and they focus on collaboration instead of competition. But here's the kicker, boys and girls. Their educational system outperforms every other country in the world. Other places like Singapore are succeeding rapidly. Schools like Montessori, programs like Khan Academy, there is no single solution. But let's get moving, because while students may be 20% of our population, they are 100% of our future. So let's attend to their dreams, and there's no telling what we can achieve. This is a world in which I believe, a world where fish are no longer forced to climb trees. I rest my case.
Wait, Mom, before you check out,
Oh, my God.
do you have Honey installed?
What's honey?
I've watched it about 20 times. I show it at lots of my presentations, and I think it just summarizes everything. I can see you're in a school. So I can see you probably agree a lot with that. Right, let me see if I can reshare this.
Definitely, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Definitely can identify, especially about teachers being underpaid. So we are funded. So how we're set up at Great Minds Together is we're largely grant funded. Our support for families is completely free, and what we're working towards is to hopefully have a stable level of funding from the DFE, and we're in conversations about our model at the moment, and rolling it out across the country, because we want the model to be free for schools and services as well. At the moment, we rely heavily on grant funding. So we've got funding from the government and National Lottery Community Fund, Stockport Local Fund, and the Wheel of Manchester charity. And we have commissioned programmes for schools and services that we deliver to help as a pay it forward initiative to support more families for free through our community interest company. And we're a huge believer in driving costs of interventions down for schools and services. We've got quite a creative model where we've got a paid multidisciplinary team mixed in with a professional volunteer initiative and graduate scheme built with local universities. So what we try to do is marry up the people who need the experience. So we've got lots of psychologists, social workers, therapists, teachers, newly qualified social work and teachers, and marrying that up with people who really need the resources on the ground in schools and services, in order to ensure that the intervention support and support for children with struggling to engage or challenging behaviour is as affordable as possible for schools. And how we work that is we kind of look at the affordability of the school depending on their budget versus the need, same with local authorities, and then we try and implement a model of support that fulfills the requirement for the need for the affordable budget of the school and service. We can receive referrals directly from families. In fact, a large portion of our referrals are self-referrals from families. And we get referrals from schools, universal services, children's services, CAMS, GPs. And again, just to reiterate that everything that we offer, our wraparound support service, is completely free for all families. In order to refer, you just need to go to our website, and there's a referral page, there's a link there, and you just fill out the details. So if you have a family in crisis, so how we work, we've got 3 departments in Great Minds. So we've got the prevention team, which is focusing on life skills curriculum with a large focus on social emotional well-being. And we've got intervention that supports children who have SEND and SEMH needs, students who are struggling to engage in the curriculum or presenting challenging behaviour. We can support with training for schools and teaching staff on the ground on how to identify a need, what a reasonable adjustment is, coming up with vocational packages for students who are struggling to engage that is in line with their aspirations to increase their engagement, learning and attainment. And it's a very creative thinking approach that we adopt. And then we've got the FIX department as well, which is Families in Crisis Support, which is the referral form. So if you have a family that are struggling for support, the wraparound service kind of has no end on what we can support with. We allocate a wraparound coordinator to the family, and whether they need a mentor or multiple mentors, one for each child, one for the parent. And the wraparound coordinator then helps to pull services together, linking everything up where there are multiple services involved, whether that's with housing, social care, it's in a domestic violence. Our staff are highly trained, and so is our volunteer initiative. I mean, the calibre, actually, I have to say, of volunteers that we've got coming through at the moment since COVID is just absolutely unbelievable. The people with, you know, such high skill sets that are wanting to give their time at this time. You know, a lot of people are wanting to really make a difference to families that are in need, and we've just got so many people coming forward that are happy to help and mentor our families and act as like a team around the family to make sure they're getting everything they need, linking with other services. And also, you know, a lot of the families that we work with kind of fall between the gaps, so it kind of, they've surpassed early help stage, but they don't quite meet child in need, and they need our support in getting relevant support services involved with them. So we do all of that as well. We have a large focus on growth mindset within our organisation. Lots of growth mindset programmes. We're very much a believer in positive thinking, not just for children, but for the adults we work with as well, and for the professionals that we work with. And it's just really focusing on a lot of the people that we work with, both professionals and families and parents and children as well, tend to be at crisis point when they come to us, and very much in the fixed mindset, and the self-confidence is very low, and they don't like challenges, and they think everything's going wrong. And you know, the system is very complex, it's very difficult to navigate, it's very disjointed. A lot of parents can be let down a lot of the time, and there's lots of changeovers in services sometimes of staff, and promises that aren't always kept to, and parents are always of the mindset that, you know, they're never going to get what they need for their families. And we just work with our families and also with our professionals in creative thinking about opening up our minds to try new things, focusing on improvement, working together to make things better, and working with the children to build their self-confidence, and that actually they can achieve anything. And I'm definitely going to be getting in touch with Jack, because I think he'd just be absolutely amazing for our young people that are on our programs, definitely. We've got lots and lots of free resources for everybody out there. You're very welcome to them. They're on our website. There's a resources and downloads page. And we've also got links on there to other organisations. We've been working throughout lockdown finding really good resources that schools and services can use for families where the children are struggling to engage with learning. Amazing things on there, so feel free to go on and have a look. I'd also just like to say here, we're partnered with Skills Builder, and we use their framework, and it is absolutely fantastic, and it's completely free framework, and it's with a lot, again, focusing on social emotional well-being, very much around life skills, and there's lots of really fun activities, and they've got loads of amazing resources on there as well, which are completely free. So if anybody kind of wants me to link them up to Skills Builder after this, I'm more than happy, because they will be able to do a demonstration on their framework, and you get a login where you can record your students' progress and you can kind of work through it. And you can do it at home as well with your children. It is, I can't rave about it enough. They spent a lot of time on that, and it is really brilliant. We've got lots of partners. We're always looking for more partners. We're very much multi-agency, working together approach. We're partnered with Apple. It's been a bit of a nightmare because as soon as we partnered with them, everywhere closed. But we have got loads of stuff set up with Apple for when the world returns to normal, if ever. There's like 57 different workshops that they give our children and families that they can go to around digital media and engaging them in that way. And that also builds up the workshops there, builds up the social inclusion for children that are struggling, that are isolated, where it's really focusing on things that they enjoy, and they're absolutely brilliant. And I'm just hoping that that will kind of kick off again at some point. We're partnered with Manchester Metropolitan University psychology department, and we're in the process of building relationships with the social worker and teaching departments as well there. Parent group Action for Send do a lot of work in regards to gathering evidence for the work that we're doing at parliamentary level to roll out our model across the country. And New Skills Academy, so we've got lots of CPD courses and they are all free for our families and young people. We've got over 1,000 CPD courses, and what we do is we kind of build them in with the children and young people that we work with in line with their aspirations. There's lots of different industries on there. And we also, our volunteers are able to access those completely free of charge. And where we have affordable commission programs with schools and services, we also provide them with free access to unlimited CPD courses to continue their professional development. And there's some amazing things on there. There's courses from sort of 40 minutes up to 40 hours. So dependent, you know, we've got mental health first aid, understanding SEND, but there's loads of different industries for young people as well, like, you know, hairdressing or traderships and things like that. So that's really great. And then we're also partnered with 1 Million Mentors, who are basically on a mission to provide 1 million mentors to children and young people. And that's just going really well. And we're helping them hopefully get to their target on that. And I spoke really quickly because I was worried it was going to go on for so long. So that's kind of us in a nutshell, if you like. So I'm happy to answer any questions.